they were trying to charge you.
Well, yeah, they did actually. They did actually charge me with the murder. What happened was when I got to the location of the crime scene, my mother called me and said, "Come home now." You know, when I went, everybody was standing outside, and I saw everybody except for my girl. Now I had no clue that these dudes was a part of whatever the fuck they was a part of. You know what I'm saying? And then somewhere along the line, they went to asking me about the situation. You know, and I was like, man, I ain't do that. Asking me what a dope, and then they started telling me situations like, you did this, huh? And I was like, no, I ain't do it. Ah! And they choked me out and had a gun in my head and all this old shit and say, you fucking did it. And me, as a 20-something-year-old, you know, I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm trying to live. These motherfuckers want to hear something. I'm going to tell them what they want to hear. I say, okay, yeah, all right. I done it. And they said, well, how you did it? And I said, man, I don't fucking know. And bop, they hit me again. And then they start spilling over the information to me, telling me, you know, what happened or what they thought happened. And, you know, for me to repeat the shit. So they said, you did it like this, huh? And I just repeated what the fuck they said. You know what I'm saying? And for eight hours later, I go and they put me on the 10th floor trying to say I was fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? After they whipped my ass and trying to find out where the dope was, when I didn't give it up, they just pinned me to the fucking murder. You know? So once I saw what happened on this report, and he was telling me, the shit didn't link up because they didn't even know what the crime scene was like. Because they was fresh on the, you know, they didn't even stay there and investigate or whatever and get the whole gist of the story. So when I found out, I'm like, God damn, all this shit, you know. So my story didn't match up with what the fuck they made me say. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, peace y'all, peace. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the rapper Mystikal and some interesting facts that surround his career. Mystikal was born September 22nd, 1970 in New Orleans, the 12th Ward. He began writing music at a young age along with his sister Michelle. After high school, Mystikal would join the army as a combat engineer during the Gulf War. It was during this time he would practice his vocal delivery that he would say was influenced by the yelling of drill sergeants and military cadence. After returning from the army, Mystikal began to take his music career seriously and went by the rap name G Money. When Run DMC and Dougie Fresh did an outdoor concert at the Treem Center in New Orleans, Mystikal took the opportunity to perform before the show started and caught the attention of Leroy Precise Edwards, who was an in-house producer for Big Boy Records, who then signed Mystikal as a solo artist. While on Big Boy Records, he changed his name from G Money to Mystikal. Now let's look up what the word mystical means. Mystical defines relating to mystics or religious mysticism, an inspiring sense of spiritual mystery, awe, and fascination.
You know, I just seen some interviews, man, you know what I'm saying, but I ain't never caught it, and I always wanted to know how you get the name Mystikal, man.
Man, that's the crazy thing about that. My rap name, when I started, was my name, my government name, Michael Tyler. I was MC Mike T. You know what I'm saying? That's how I started. And I said, nah, I'm gonna put something in front of that mic. I'm gonna be like some kind of mic, magical mic, like they got a magic mic. And I'm sure when he thought his name, he was thinking on that same line, just something to make the mic sound good, because I want that mic in my name. My partner said, I got it. Mystikal mic. I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. I didn't even know what that shit meant at the time, but you know what I'm saying? It had a nice ring to it. Yeah. So then eventually, you know what I'm saying, that Mystikal thing, that's just shit stuff.
So it's no secret that Mystikal was definitely hip to the mysticism that goes on in the industry. While on Big Boy Records, he released his first debut album in 1994, Mystikal, that had a great success locally. The album was released June 14th, 1994, and on his 24th birthday that year, he found his sister dead in his bedroom. Now, many people have speculated that Mystikal was behind his sister's death, and the whole story was fabricated. Let's take a look at what Mystikal says about how he found his sister in her bed on the day of his birthday.
I found my sister in her bed dead with a Mystikal promotional t-shirt on saying I'm not that nigga on it, man. On my birthday, you know. And actually she was part of, she had just signed with Big Boy Records too. That's the label that sites and Chuck and Rob them had. It was called Big Boy Records, and she was signed as an R&B act, and I was signed as a rapper. Because she actually performed with me the day Leroy, the day Sight saw me performing at the Tremay Center. She was singing background for me because it was my first single called Not That. And I was saying I'm not that. I'm not that. And she was saying Not That nigga, and so that's how that went down, man. I found a girl like that, man.
Now, we always talk about sacrifices that take place in the music business. This is a clear indication of a sacrifice that had to be done in order for Mystikal to receive hip-hop success. The following year, he landed a record deal with major label Jive and released his second album. He then signed to Master P's No Limit in 1996. In 2003, things would begin a downward spiral for Mystikal. He pleaded guilty to forcing his hairstylist to perform sexual acts on himself and 2 of his bodyguards. Mystikal ended up serving 6 years in prison for the stint. He was arrested again shortly after, but the most recent is insane and pretty much proves that Mystikal was no stranger to the mystical practices. The alleged woman claims that Mystikal raped her over $100, but before he did, he drenched her in alcohol and told her that she needed to be cleansed of demons, and forced her to use drugs. Many people online speculate that Mystikal was indeed framed for this sexual act, but some others believe that he was just a psychopath with a sick nature. Now, my conclusion to this is Mystikal very well much knew what exactly took place. Now, his second arrest, he was released on the $3 million bond and then immediately signed to Cash Money Records. Now, what I truly believe is that there had to be some type of price to be paid. Birdman is no stranger to occult practices. In order for Mystikal to receive the benefits of being released from jail and putting out an album on Cash Money Records, he would have to perform a ritual. And when a ritual didn't get done, it's simply the fact that he was either framed or set up. Many people also believe that Mystikal may have been a victim of CIA mind control. Before his stint in the United States Army, you can't find any pictures of Mystikal with family or friends. But with that being said, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and peace.
So, did you go to military prison in Iraq, man? I heard that you...
Right. No, I went to jail after we came back.
For leaving the base or something?
No, yeah, leaving the base.
Can you talk about it?
Yeah.
What the fuck? How did you end up...
I put a lot of the blame on KLC now, on 39 Posse, because as soon as I left to go to the Army, I was going to, do my best out there and do that shit. But the people that I was trying to make a record with, as soon as I leave, they make a record. So that's like what's your boy name? Warwick Gunn. As soon as he left fucking Tampa and go